On the Ground, a video series by B-Clip Productions and Business North Carolina magazine that visits the remarkable companies that drive our state. Today, we're visiting Nantahala Outdoor Center at the doorstep to the Great Smoky Mountains and learning how this adventure tourism company built an expansive and diverse operation strong enough to weather a devastating natural disaster and come back stronger than ever.
My name is Stephen Foy. I'm the Director of Outpost Operations at Nantahala Outdoor Center. Nantahala Outdoor Center is primarily a guide and outfitting business and an adventure resort. We are just past 50 years. This is our 53rd year in operations. We operate on 7 rivers across the southeast and 4 states. Our headquarters is on the Nantahala River. We obviously have a rafting operation, world-known, great, classic Nantahala rafting operation. We also do canoe and kayak construction. We have 2 zipline products. We have 3 restaurants. We have a full scale of different lodging operations. We're right next to the lake, so we have lake adventures. And then we also have a world-class wilderness medicine training program as well. So we really run the full gamut of adventure right there on that resort. So something that's great about Bryson City is it really is a great adventure hub in the southeast. It's a gateway to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. It's right on Lake Fontana, and there's several rivers that converge into Lake Fontana, one of those being the Nantahala, the others being the Tuckasegee and the Little Tennessee. So there's great adventure opportunities all the way around there. When I look at all of our rafting program, our zipline, our paddling school, our mountain bike, our lake guests, all the other programs, we're bringing in just over 100,000 guests a year in adventure programs. And then between folks that might not come to an adventure program with us, but come to campus to stay in lodging, eat in the restaurants, go to the retail stores, we're looking at between 105 and 110,000 guests a year within NOC. So the impact that adventure tourism has in the western part of the state is quite substantial. We all went into the storm knowing that there was a big storm coming. We also really didn't know what big meant. We had kind of prepped, hey, let's see what happens. We might have to cancel some trips. We might just be at high water, right? Felt like a normal decision. We didn't really know the full extent of it. They evacuated our staff housing. Our staff housing in Hot Springs, North Carolina is right on the banks of the French Broad. That was the main impact that we had was on that property. The number one thing was that all of our people were okay. That was the most important. Everybody was accounted for, everybody was healthy. So we were shut down for 2 weeks and it was a really slow process to get turned back on. We were fortunate to be able to open back up at the beginning of this year. At the core of what NOC does is youth development. Youth development is really the real work that we do as an organization, both with our guides who are primarily young adults that are stepping into leadership, growing their public speaking skills, they're being mentored by senior leaders in the business. And then that same mentorship conveys down to the guests in the boat. So we're kind of developing these young leaders within the organization and we're sharing these wonderful public resources with kids. Right now, it's especially important as we see the rise in access to digital and to screen, the things that kids are entertaining with. I think that getting them into a boat and away from a screen for an hour and a half or 2 hours is just physically healthy for them. There's this psychological state where I can't tell you how many of our guests get to a takeout and they're like, oh, it's over? They had completely lost track of how much time had been going by. They completely lost track of how far we'd actually gone down the river. They're not keeping pace, they're just in the moment.